my name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup Misfit and welcome to another update for Pan That Face palette for this year. If you have been watching, you know the palette I'm working on. If not, I am working on this Pat McGrath Face Trio. This is the the Divine Blush and Glow Trio in Galactic Sun, and I believe this came out in Christmas of 2021, 2020, somewhere around there. And I did purchase it at some point around that time. I want to say it was 21. So anyways, my goal was obviously to try and hit pan in all three shades. There's two blushes and one highlighter, but I also wanted to just use them as much as I possibly could this year and see where we're sitting at. So let's see where we are today. So this is what this palette is looking like. Now, this blush right here is Divine Rose, and this one I've been reaching for daily. I have been pairing this one right here, which is Desert Orchid, with it, but we will chat about that in just a minute. This shade right here, I know I'm not going to hit pan on the blushes, and I'm okay with that. Last update I said I just wanted to wear away the embossment completely, if possible, on this shade. And then Desert Orchid, I just wanted to wear it away so it wasn't as visible because it was still pretty prominent, since I really haven't been reaching for this shade as much this year as I thought I would be. And this has pretty much been my daily shade all year round, even if I do pair it with other blushes or like switch it out once in a while. This has been a very consistent blush in my looks pretty much this whole year. So I have been making a lot more progress on here. You can still see the embossment, but it is starting to wear away. I can't feel it anymore. It is flat, but you can still see it, whereas this one I can still feel, especially the roses here, I can still feel the imprint, but this is flat, so that's good. That's making my way there. I don't know if it will be completely gone by the time the end of this project rolls around in December, but we'll have to see how it's looking at that point. And either way, I'm going to be happy with my progress on it. This shade here, Desert Orchid, like I said, I haven't been reaching for this one as much, but I have been reaching for it just a touch bit more over these last few weeks. But in general this year, it hasn't been getting the love that I thought it would be. Last year in 22, I was really into the coral peachy tone look, so I would have reached for this one a lot more last year. But I have been pairing these two together pretty much the last few weeks or so, just to get a little bit more use on both of them. I did it today. I do it pretty much daily the last couple of weeks. And I'm really enjoying the progress that I'm making on it, and I do enjoy how it looks as well. So I would like to try and at least make it feel like it's flat, even if it looks similar to that. If I can not feel the embossment on the pan at the end of this project, I'll be happy. But that being said, maybe sometime in the future, next year or so, I will roll the blushes into projects just to get a little bit more use on them. But I do feel like I'm not gonna want to necessarily put them away. I do enjoy these blushes. I like how they apply. I like how they blend out, how they look. They're definitely some of my favorite blushes in my collection. So I would love to continue to get some use on it. But I think at the end of this year, I'm gonna put this palette aside, start a new one for next year, and then just work on these as I go. So last, we have our highlight here, and obviously you can see that the pan has been expanding. I hit pan on this, I want to say, by the first update. It's a very soft formula, even though I was still surprised that I had hit pan on it so soon. So last update I said it wasn't a necessary goal, but I wanted to try and hit the side pan here. And if you guys can see, there's just the slightest amount down at the very bottom, but most of that side pan is showing. So I'm going to consider that a goal met. And I just want to continue to expand the pan. I would love to see if I could try and finish this highlight by the end of this year. I don't know if it's possible. I do wear it almost back to daily now. I have been pairing other highlighters with it just because it is a little bit too yellow for me, and now that we're going into fall and winter, it's going to be a little bit too much. Summer I could get away with it a bit, but not so much going forward. So if I'm able to pair it with my cookie highlighter or something that's a little bit lighter or whiter and just kind of tone down the yellow, I think it's not going to be an issue. But I do still plan to reach for it almost on a daily basis, and that's pretty much what I've been doing. So I've been getting a lot of use on it, and I think at this rate, if it's not going to be completely finished by the end of this project, I think I'm going to be pretty close. And if that's the case, then I will pull it into a project at some point next year to completely finish it off, because having a whole other highlighter in a palette or as a single completely finished in my collection would be pretty amazing. So this is what the palette is looking like. We'll have to see what it's gonna look like next month. I'm hoping that the imprint on here will be actually worn away so you don't see it at all. But like I said, I cannot feel it. It is flat, so that's a good sign. And then this one right here, if I could get it to that point, I can still feel most of it, especially these roses. They're very pretty blushes. This was mixed together. They are very pretty. So I do like mixing them. But if I can get this to feel like this, even look similar to this, I'll be happy with the progress. I know that hitting pan and blush is difficult. I've done it many times before, but it is a little bit harder. So I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't get to hitting pan on them, but I will be very happy. And I am happy currently with how this is looking. So I know that this palette is looking well loved, and I'm just happy about that in general. So this is what the palette's looking like for this update. So hopefully we'll see a lot more progress in that highlighter for October. But that is it for now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you all later. Bye.